Hey friends! Hey friends! The last thing I want to touch on about with the pelvic floor is kind of the energetic or emotional components. So this is not all woo, really. I'm a really analytical person. When I first had my own bits of hip issues, is what we'll call it, I had piriformis issues. It didn't get gone until I really addressed the emotional component of why those muscles were tensing. And it's a component that I always bring into my work with clients because there's a lot of crooked people out there, but they are all not in pain. So if you're somebody who's dealing with pain in this area, I really do encourage you to start thinking about this and having a felt sense connection with your body. So start noticing when you may feel those muscles tighten up. And if you're in the apex of the pain, you may not get there. It may just be about starting to feel pain relief. But when you're on the other side of that hill, that mountain, start to pay attention to, are there certain people that you talk to? Are there certain situations where you can almost feel like the spidey sense, where like there's a tingling in that area that often causes you pain? Because the more that you can start to recognize your body's supercomputer telling you, hey, we're kicking into self-protection mode here, the sooner that you're going to be able to stay out of that pain pattern for a long time, in addition to the biomechanic work. So in the chakra system, the pelvic floor, and once again, I'm going to kind of talk about this more from the underwear lines concept, is the root chakra and the sacral chakra. So the root chakra is basically, if you've had any type of trauma, and I think we could all say that in the last year to year and a half, we've all been there. Like, we've all been experiencing trauma, and a lot of us are probably triggered, especially if you've ever experienced loss previously, and then if you're experiencing loss. But there's been a sense of mourning and loss around so many things right now, right? It's not even just about the death of loved ones and friends. So fear essentially is what kicks that root chakra to start to get dysfunctional. So the fear pattern is what creates restriction there. And it's almost like those sphincters, right? Those valves start to shut off. And remember that those valves are connected to the breath. So any type of stressor that you're dealing with that's causing your breath to shut off is correspondingly causing your root chakra to shut off. I feel like a lot of foot problems and things like that of the lower leg are actually tied to the clenching in this area and sort of that valve energetically of the body, the torso, not being able to connect down to the feet. So as you're working through this and loosening these areas, and that's why I love a squat, because you can kind of tent down and feel the full release and kind of drop down and feel that valve open into the feet, and then pulling it back up without choking it off, but it's more about collecting energy back up and in. A way that you can kind of approach this in terms of an energetic component is thinking about the pelvic floor almost like you're peeing down your legs. So that you sort of, you can almost visualize opening that valve there and just water kind of starting to float down. You could be your breath. The color of that chakra is red. You could visualize like red coming down. But it can kind of muck around with any other energetic factors of anything else going on, because any time that you don't feel a sense of safety, security, and this could be physical as well as financial, that area will start to constrict. So that's root chakra. Sacral chakra, we're talking about the front of the underwear. So, this is our sexuality center. Different people, I've read, because I read a lot about this stuff, different people say that it's your center of creativity as well. I've read other books where people say the creativity center is more in the throat. I totally think the sexuality center is also the creativity center. So feeling that sense of what is uniquely you and creatively uniquely you, and in a sense of it be in a passionate way, totally second chakra. It doesn't have to be about sex. It can also just be about a sense of sensuality and what makes you unique. So if you're constantly in fear and you don't feel secure, you probably aren't going to have much bandwidth left for being creative, let alone sexually healthfully engaging with another person. So looking at this in your own life, and even kind of as you're doing some of these movements, and in the next couple of videos when we do our workouts, sort of approaching it in that way. The sacral chakra color is orange. So if color is more of your thing, think about as you're moving that you're moving color through your body. So one of the cues that I give with clients initially is kind of the yo-yos, where you roll and it lights up as it goes down, and then it kind of bops up and it lights up and it goes down. So that with every step you take, you can kind of visualize that red yo-yo bopping back and forth. And if you feel it clogged up or that it doesn't move down one leg, you just constantly intention it down and up that leg, and then down and up the other leg. And then when you feel like you have the red, you can add in the orange and do the same thing. Any other mindful, meditative type of practice, you can play with the exact same idea of visualizing those colors or visualizing light, energy, transferring in between your legs and going from the pelvic area on down in a vibrant fashion. So thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoy, and let's get to work in these areas.